Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new video. This video will be a basic guide for friendship bracelets. I will also make a Dutch version of this video as I know there isn't a guide yet. In this video I will discuss a lot of things and I will leave timestamps in the description so you can go to the specific topic you want to know more about. First of all, I'm going to talk about what are friendship bracelets, what the different types are, the 4 different knot types, how you can read normal patterns, how you can read alpha patterns, the resources, how you can make different beginnings and endings, how you can secure your bracelets, the string length, fixing mistakes in your bracelets, the different types of ties you can make, how you can store your thread, and the related crafts that you also can make with your bracelets. First of all, what are friendship bracelets? Friendship bracelets go under different names. Friendship bracelet, Brazilian friendship bracelet, and so on. Friendship bracelets are bracelets in which you can express your friendship to one another. They are used quite frequently for over here in the Netherlands for younger girls, about 14 or younger, in which they buy them in sets and give them to one of their best friends. But you can also make them yourself. What types of friendship bracelets are there? You have the normal bracelets in which you knot diagonally, and you have alpha bracelets in which you kind of weave from left to right and you change your string in your leading string. And then you have special bracelets which can have charms in them, beads. They can be the Chinese staircase ones, and I will insert a few pictures of different types of special bracelets to see what types, so that you can see what types of bracelets there are. There are 4 different types of knot. You have a forward knot, you have a backward knot, you have a forward-backward knot, and you have a backward-forward knot. In the following clip you can see me making the bracelets and the bracelets to knot and explaining what I am doing. In this short clip you can show me making a forward knot. You are gonna make a 4, as you can see, and you are gonna pull the string underneath. Then you are gonna make a second 4, and again you're gonna pull the string underneath. This is a forward knot. As you can see, my dark blue string went from the left side of the light blue string to the right side of the light blue string. With these orange and yellow thread, I am gonna make a backward knot. You're gonna make a 4 again, but it will be in mirrored, and you're gonna pull the string underneath again, and you're gonna pull, and you're gonna do it again. As you can see over here, my yellow string went from the right side of the orange string to the left side. With these two, I'm gonna make a forward-backward knot. So I'm first gonna make a 4 this way, and I'm gonna pull the orange string underneath the red string, tighten it, then I'm gonna make a 4 to the other side and pull the string underneath again. And as you can see, my orange string stayed on the left side. With this knot and also this one, you can you place your strings differently than over here. With these two orange strings I'm gonna do the same, but then on the other side. So you're first gonna make your backward knot, pull the string underneath again, and then I'm gonna make a forward knot. And here you can see that my string stayed on the right side. See? These two strings are also, these two types of knot are also used for a certain technique called the straight edges technique, which I will make a video later on about, because it's a technique I use myself quite a lot. And then there is one more other thing. As you've probably seen while I was making all 4 of these knots, I actually made 2 knots. So the first 4 you make is to place your string, and the second one you make is actually the string that holds it, but it's also the visible knot you see. As you can see in the bracelet over here, all the knots you see here on top are actually the second knot you make. There are 2 ways you can read a normal pattern. You can read a normal pattern using the row by row technique, or you can use segment knotting. I will first explain the row by row technique. On this picture you can see small numbers on the side. They go from 1 to 8 in this picture, and you have these horizontal lines. A row by row, reading your pattern row by row means you visually read your pattern from left to right according to these horizontal lines. So that means in the first row you would make a forward backward knot, then you would make a forward knot, a backward knot, and then a backward forward knot. And in the second row you can see all the way on the left and all the way on the right that there is a little string hanging out. You skip this string using in this row, you don't use it, but you will use it again in the next row. You skip a string every other row. As you can see, you have it in row 2 and you have it in row 4. If you the other technique you can use is segment knotting, which does take quite a while to get good at. It took me a couple of years to really understand how to segment knot. And what you basically do is you make a couple of knots with the same string. So for instance, you could make, if you look at row 5, you could see the pink string starting. That would mean you would make all these forward knots in one go and all the backward knots from the other side in one go. But if you want to use this technique, you do really have to understand how to read patterns, because you need to be able to see what knot you need to make before the other to let it work out. The pattern you see on your screen right now is an alpha pattern. Alpha patterns, you read alpha patterns a little bit different than you read normal patterns, as it is a different technique. On this pattern you can see on the left all of these small white strings. These are your base strings. They won't be visible in your bracelet. You weave on top of them. They will only be visible in your ties. Then on the bottom you can see a little white string. This is your leading string. For the first couple of rows you weave from left to right until you meet a different color. In this pattern that will be blue, so that means that you have to switch from leading string from your white leading string to your blue leading string. I will make a different tutorial on how you can easily switch your leading strings in your alpha bracelet. To practice making alpha bracelets, I would suggest to start making an alpha bracelet with only 2 colors, so that you can practice switching colors, but that you don't have to do it that often, as you have to switch colors in this pattern you have to switch colors in this pattern often, as there are a lot of different colors. Securing your bracelets. You can secure your bracelets however you like. You can use a clipboard, you can tape them down, you can use one of those fancy macrame boards. I myself use tape, and I like to tape them down. Each string I use a lot of tape. When I go on vacation, I do tend to take safety pins with me and a clipboard, so that I can actually knot everywhere I want, and that's much easier to take with me than tape, because I cannot tape it down everywhere. String length. String length is a difficult topic because there isn't a certain measurement you need for making a friendship bracelet. You kind of have to figure it out yourself. I would suggest using about a meter if you are not folding your string to make a loop. And if you want to fold your string, which means you need twice the amount of string, I would suggest taking about 2 meters. If you have any string left after making a bracelet, don't throw it away. Keep it in a jar, a box, to use for your alpha bracelets. I myself have 2 scrap thread yards of leftover string yards, which I use when I make an alpha bracelet and I just need a few knots of a specific color I have. Ties. Ties are really important because they are the part in which you can tie your bracelet together with first. And there are a lot of different ways to make ties, but I'm gonna tell you about 4. And the first one is braids. Really simple. You just make a braid of your bracelet ending, so that you can tie them together. Second, you can use twisted ties. These are a little bit more difficult, but I will explain in a later on tutorial how you can make these twisted ties and the braided ties and all of the other ties. Next on, you can use fishtails. I have made them once, but I found that they were taking a little bit too long, because I just want, when I make my ties, I just want to quickly finish off my bracelet. And you could also make a certain twisted ties with I believe 4 strings, 4 different groups of strings. I have seen Claire make one, and I haven't made them myself, but I will figure it out for the tutorial how to make them. There are a lot of different ways you can start and finish your bracelets. You can start with triangle ends, like I've done with this one. And you can also finish by making triangle ends. You can make a basic loop, which looks like this or this. It's actually just a loop that is followed by 2 triangles, which connect the bracelet. And you can end your bracelets with 2 smaller triangles. It's actually just what you prefer or what fits with the pattern. You can make a teardrop loop, which looks like this, but you can also just tie your bracelets together in a knot and start knotting away. I will make a few more videos on all of these different starts that you can make, and also the endings, which go into further detail in how to make them step by step. There are a lot of different types of thread. You have embroidery floss, of course from brands like DMC, but you can also buy them from bulk packages from Amazon, Etsy, AliExpress. It's just what you prefer. Of course there will be a little bit of a quality difference, but if you don't mind it as much as I do, I don't mind the quality difference, then you can of course buy these ones. I myself don't use embroidery floss anymore, not so often. I'm working through it while making my bracelet with charms in the middle, and I am going to step over to this brand. It's called Hanna Borgo de Pasa. I get it from a local store over here, and they also have multicolor thread. You may be wondering, what type of thread do you use now? I use this type of thread. I've seen it around for quite a while, and it took me some time before I found a shop that would sell it to me for a normal price, so not 15 euros for shipping. That's what you find on Etsy, but I use a different store. I will link the store where I buy this thread down below. It's a thread, I believe that is very popular over in Russia. It's called Alice Croquet Forever, and I just absolutely love their colors. You also have this one from the store where I buy them from. You can find about 36 different colors. Then they also have this version. It's called Alice Croquet Forever Simile, and it has sparkles in it. It is a little bit more difficult to knot with, because the sparkly thread tends to fray from your normal thread, as you can see over here. So what I usually do is I just make a tiny knot to keep it in place. Then there's also a special type of thread, which is called multicolor thread. I believe this is an older version of DMC multicolor thread. I found this at a local thrift shop over here in the Netherlands. But they also have it from Alice. It's called Miss Mélange. And they have a lot of different types. They have this blue one. They have this pink one. And then I also have this multicolor thread. It comes from a local store in the Netherlands. This is what it looks like, but my camera is a little bit up close. And this is the brand it's from. I'm not sure if you can buy it online, because I buy it at this sort of Target-like shop. But this is the brand name. Feel free to Google it, and if you have found the shop, you can always comment it down below so that I can link it in my description. Then I also have this thread, this multicolor thread. It's from a brand called Yarn Art, Violet. I also get it from the same side as I get the Alice Croquet Forever from. And they have a lot of different colors. They have this beautiful white, orange and green one. They have this dark blue one which goes to white. And then last but not least, you also have metallic thread. I'm not 100% sure if this is metallic. Oh, here it's 30% metallic, 70% polyester. And it is a little bit smaller than this, but it does work well together. I am gonna make a storing your thread. There are a lot of different types you can, a lot of different ways you can store your thread. You can store embroidery thread, for instance, on these thread bobbins, in which you just twist them around and then you can put the end through a little slide that's in there, and you can have them from plastic or made from some sort of cardboard. And you can store those thread bobbins in a box, or you can just store them in a plastic bag. I myself store my Elite thread in a big box, and the leftover embroidery floss I have is mostly in a big plastic bag. Fixing mistakes. Fixing mistakes. It does happen that you make a mistake in a bracelet. So I just took a one of the examples how to make a certain knot. You can always untie your bracelet. I prefer to use a safety pin. I have this really big one, and you just have to be really careful. And as you can see, I am keeping both of the strings down with my finger to keep some tension on it, and you can just wiggle the knot out, and you could make a another knot. So I could make a forward knot. You can also fix your mistakes in alpha bracelets, which works the same. You just have to be careful that you don't break your string while wiggling your string to loosen it. Related crafts. In the beginning of the video I talked about the special types of bracelets, but besides bracelets you can also make a lot of other things with your embroidery floss or the yarn you're using. You can use beads in them, you can make keychains, you can make bags, and you can sew in your bracelets to give them more detail. You can actually do anything you like, and I think it does give a bracelet more personality when you add beads or little rings to them, or when you make keychains with a lot of things, or when you sew and you really get visible eyes or visible lines in your bracelet, which might make it cuter or more detailed, of course. Now that you've come this far in the video, you probably want to know, what can I do to start? You can always make a candy stripe, which looks like this, but with a candy stripe you only practice one type of knot, a backward knot or a forward knot. So if you want to get used to both, I would suggest making a chevron, which is just a V shape. I'm gonna try my best to find a chevron pattern, an easy one, and link it down below. But if you want to make something different but still only practice your backward and forward knots, you can also make this really cute heart pattern. If you've come this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching my video and welcome you to the bracelet community. It's really a great and sweet community to be in. I have never had an unpleasant experience with someone or fight with another bracelet maker on, for instance, Instagram. If you want to learn more, you can always click on one of my other tutorials that will be coming out, but please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. If you want any a specific tutorial, you can always message me on Instagram or place a comment. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Bye!